If you love making homemade bread with a soft interior and a nice crispy crust, these are the best of bread pans. They're heavy cast iron, so they're a nice solid material. I like to keep mine nice and oiled. That's the best way to ensure longevity and make sure your bread doesn't stick to the pans. I strive to make most of my bread at home if possible. It's less expensive to make at home, fresher, and obviously, the biggest bonus is that it's not filled with all that junk that the manufacturers put in there. This is bread the way bread is supposed to be. A lot of people are baking their breads and their sourdoughs in those heavy Dutch oven pans, which is totally fine. The only thing I don't love about that is that it makes a round loaf, and I prefer a sandwich style loaf so that I can use it for sandwiches and other things like that in my household. This set comes with two pans that you can use individually side by side, or obviously you could use one in the oven at a time if you wanted. But what I absolutely love about this is that it's a stacking set. So they stack together to create that really crispy crust to make one loaf at a time. It's been really fun to play around with these pans and experiment, especially with baking different items like cinnamon rolls, banana bread, and other quick breads. And then, of course, just a variety of breads that I like to bake at home. I love that you're able to use these pans separately because then I can make two loaves at once, which is so convenient because my family goes through a lot of bread. So it's nice to just always have two loaves. These pans help create such a beautiful rise and bake. Stacking them really does help create that nice crispy crust because when you stack them, it traps the moisture that the dough lets off during the baking process, and then that moisture turns to steam in the heat and creates just the most beautiful crispy crust. If you keep them well oiled, they're super quick release, which is really nice. Even my glass baking pans do not do as good of a job releasing bread as these well-oiled pans do. Maintenance is incredibly easy. You're just going to rinse them out with warm water. Don't use soap. And then dry them off really, really well with a towel. And then always before you store them in a cool, dry place, you're going to want to make sure they're completely dry, and you're also going to want to oil them. I like to spread my oil around with a silicone brush or a dry rag instead of using paper towel. It comes with a book that has some awesome recipes in there and also these beautiful oven mitts, which fit my small hands and my husband's big hands. And they have like a rubber on them that makes them grippy, which is really nice. If you want to make the softest interior, most delicious breads at home, the two things you need are good pans and a good recipe. And these are definitely the good pans.